Hey, Rockstar. I know you reached out to me because you're interested in how to get your music into TV, movies, commercials, and more so that you can make a living doing what you love and reach a wider audience with your music. The reason I do encourage artists like you to pitch your songs as soon as possible for sync licensing opportunities like that is because it's one of the most lucrative income streams available to independent artists, especially with the current music industry model where streaming brings in next to nothing and it can be hard to find good paying gigs if that's one of your goals. Syncing your music in TV and film can be one of the best ways to earn an income and gain exposure as an independent artist. And I can show you how to do it one step at a time. So, hi, I'm Sherilyn, and that's me in this pic performing on a stage in LA a few years ago. I'll tell you more of my story in a minute, but this brief video is a way for you to get to know more about my history as an artist and music career coach, but more importantly, for us to take a quick assessment of where you're at. And finally, for you to meet a few of the artists that I work with and hear their success stories, because in a few months, that could be you. These are some of the 200 artists I work with from all over the world. They are artists just like you who also didn't know how to start when I first met them. But within as little as 3 to 6 months, they started landing placements in TV, ads, and film, as well as composer gigs for upcoming TV series. And many of them even landing multiple placements in their first year after joining Like a Pro Music Coaching. And why shouldn't that be you? Wouldn't you be stoked to hear your music on TV just a few months from now? Okay, first of all, if you're new to the term sync, what is sync or a sync license? Sync is just short for synchronization. Anytime that music is synchronized to something visual, such as TV shows, movies, video games, commercials, a sync license is required. This license grants permission from artists like you who wrote, published, and recorded the music, and you're typically paid an upfront sync fee and master use fee. The fee you could receive from those placements can often range from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars to even 100,000 and more, depending on the placement and budget of the show, movie, or brand. In addition to that, royalties get paid to the writers and publisher every time a show airs or is streamed. And I'll give you some real life examples in this video today. And what took me like 5 years to get into sync, I'm seeing the artists I work with landing placements within a matter of months by showing them the secrets I learned the hard way so that you don't have to. So, in this video, I'll take you behind the curtain to show you how it works, how I got my own music signed to these 10 sync agencies, publishers, and music libraries who pitch my music regularly for sync placements, and how you can too. In fact, I have a brand new placement coming up on a Netflix show next month. So, go with me for a minute on a bit of an analogy and think of your music career like a little boat out on this huge choppy ocean that is the music industry. And ask yourself this question: what holes do I have in my music career boat? Do you feel like you're nearly sinking? Do you feel like you're constantly bailing out water? It's hard to stay afloat. Do you feel like you're never really going anywhere with your career? Do you feel like there's more money going out than coming in? Are you struggling to find your fans? Are you not sure how to handle the business side of things? Are you confused about royalties, copyrights, or distribution? Maybe you have a limited knowledge of music industry basics like split sheets, one-stop agreements, work for hire contracts, or metadata, all things required to pitch for major league opportunities like sync licensing. Have you not been able to build real revenue streams yet? The kind that might allow you to actually quit your day job and do music full time? I'll help you discover what gaps, cracks, and holes you might have in your music career boats, probably ones that you don't even know you have that you need to tend to, together with my help if you like. Now, before getting too far into the details, I just want to share a few songwriter success stories with you because I think you'll be super encouraged. So, when I first met one of our graduates, Ty Avery, Ty had a lot of holes in his music career boat. I discovered Ty in a Facebook group for songwriters, and he's a US based rap and hip hop artist. And when we met, he hadn't recorded or released anything like on Spotify yet. He was just rapping over some leased beats from YouTube, but I could tell right away that he was super talented and had loads of potential. And as Ty walked through my foundational course called Release Music Like a Pro, it was just 2 months into that course that Ty took this picture and posted it on social media the day he found out he landed his first TV placement. He hadn't even released anything on Spotify yet. He wasn't even done with the course yet. You can see how he shared here. It all started when I took the leap to join Sherilyn's program. She introduced me to other industry pros and opened my eyes to what could be possible to pursue with my music. Since graduating, I've already landed 15 TV placements, including my latest couple on Cobra Kai season 6 and a brand new CW show, The Wranglers. I have 9 sync agencies pitching my music for more placements, and I know the sky's the limit. Thanks, Sherilyn, for all you've done to jumpstart the journey for me. And in fact, Ty sent me a voice note about 3 weeks into working together. And I love how it captured this moment when he saw this step-by-step process in our artist development track was helping him plug all these huge holes in his boat. So I asked him if I could actually share it publicly to encourage you guys. So have a listen.
Sherilyn, this is so amazing. I'm just now catching up with step 3. I'm finding the producers and things like that, and I'm getting so many gems. You are so amazing with how you just structured all of this breakdown, this spreadsheet, all of these things that so many people need to know when it comes to releasing like a pro. Like I would have never thought about this. I would have kept dealing with the same people that I know, that it's just to explore greater or different options. Like, you are amazing what you have for us. Like I got so much love for you. I thank you so much for this. Like you don't know how much this means to me. And every time I always think, like, man, when it get hard, like financially for me, I'm like, but I know one bill. I mean, I don't even want to look at it like that. I know one thing that I'm gonna make sure that I keep up is the payment with you, because what you're giving to me is priceless. It's priceless. You deserve way more. I just thank you for bearing with us, working with us, and giving us all of these gems. Like, I'm so thankful. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. Oh, man. So 2 more success stories real quick, and then we're going to move on to how you can get started right away. When I first met Daniela, she's based in New Zealand, and she's been writing songs, and she was learning how to record vocals from home, was experimenting with Logic Pro, but she hadn't released anything yet on Spotify, and she felt really stuck. She had dreams of being an artist and collaborating with other writers and producers and landing syncs, but she didn't know where to begin. Sound familiar? Here's a video talking about her journey.
I started with Sherilyn's Release Music Like a Pro. So glad I did it, because like all the successes, everything that has happened so far has always stemmed from you. I've come a long way. I've run through that sync course like 3 times now. When I came to you, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not ready. I just remember seeing it and thinking, wow, this course covers everything that I need to know step by step. And so like everything that I've learned and put into practice, and even all the contacts I've made, has come from you, because of your introduction and your course. So for that, I'm super grateful. Trying to record and release as much music as possible, always with the intention of heading into sync. Now I'm finally doing it, because I learned how to make demos myself, but that's not enough. You know, you have to have music that's finished. And now I'm learning to go the extra mile with production, and about to do the mixing course as well. So I'm really excited for that. And I remember seeing people like this, and they were inspiring me, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to get to that point. And then you blink, and now we're here. I love this community. Sherilyn always has such beautiful communities of people. So
Danny started working with me a few years ago with my foundational course, Release Music Like a Pro. And then she moved on to my Fast Track to Sync. And then she completed my Mix Music Like a Pro. And she's now working with one of the publishers I'm signed with, a publisher who's landed sync placements for A-list artists like Megan Thee Stallion, Meghan Trainor, Maren Morris, and so many more. And he's currently setting her up for writing sessions with Grammy-winning songwriters. It has opened up loads of access and opportunities for her, and it can for you too. And I just love seeing what I call the compound ripple effects of sync happen for these artists. And you could expect these kind of ripple effects in your music world too. So imagine your song gets placed on a Netflix show. You've got millions of people, this whole new audience hearing your song on a show or commercial, and they're using Shazam to discover it and finding you on Spotify, etc. In fact, I know an artist who told me she saw an increase of about 100,000 streams from one sync placement almost overnight. I know another artist who landed a placement in the show called Dr. Odyssey, and the week that the episode aired, he was one of the most Shazam songs in the world. That's the power of sync. So not only do you get an upfront sync fee and master use fee, which we talked about can range from hundreds of dollars up to 100,000 plus, depending on the placement, but you also get these back end royalties every time the episode airs or gets streamed for years to come. And they do start to add up. These are collected through performing rights organizations like ASCAP or BMI here in the US. If you haven't registered with a PRO yet, that's a hole in your boat we can easily take care of. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. But to give you another real life example here, one of the mentors who helped me get into sync actually had some of his music placed on The Big Bang Theory years ago when that show was being filmed. Placement like that brought him in $2,000 for the upfront sync fee and master use fee. But he shared with me the better part is just about those royalties that are passively flowing as people continue to watch the show on Hulu or Netflix or cable or wherever it's streaming. And, shared with me that that song has literally brought in $250,000 in royalties. So this is also what we're looking for, is that long game of those royalties flowing, hopefully for years to come. So another ripple effect is that you get to add something to your digital resume, which is often your website, your electronic press kit, something to that effect. As heard on Grey's Anatomy, as heard on the latest Nike commercial, it gives you something that is giving you credibility as an artist, beefing up that resume. And suddenly it gets easier to book better gigs, better festivals. And then I've even heard artists like Ty telling me how people started sliding into his DMs to say, hey, congrats on the sync. Want to collab? And some other artists and managers might also notice those placements and ask about getting you to open for them on tours, etc. You get the idea, right? These compound ripple effects. And one good sync placement could literally change your life. One of the publishers I'm signed with that I mentioned earlier is responsible for all of the sync placements for Meghan Trainor's song All About That Bass, which definitely helped lift off her pop star career. So lots of unknown artists have gotten their break through sync. And gosh, why shouldn't you? And I actually have a really practical and helpful set of assessment questions for you at the end of this video if you want to stick around and see more clearly where your music business foundation is at. But as to whether or not we end up working together on some of those holes in the boat or towards your sync goals, first of all, I don't work with every artist personally. It has to feel like a good mutual fit. I only have so many hours in the day. I have to see the potential in you, your music, your willingness to put in the work. And you have to feel like I'm the right coach to help you really reach your goals. I started writing songs when I was about 5 years old, and I was signed to a label by the time I was 19. I spent most of my 20s touring, mostly in the Christian music world at the time. And I was super blessed to have this whole team around me, setting me up with great producers, publicists, photographers, radio promoters, sending me on tour to Australia and setting up showcases in Nashville and recording sessions in Hollywood. Fast forward about 10 years, and I was getting radio play and tour dates were filling up. But I went through the tough stuff of life. And in my early 30s, one was being, my husband decided he didn't want to be married anymore. And that changed the trajectory of my life. Another one being my mom was diagnosed with cancer and was given 6 months. And that changed everything. And if you're anything like me as a songwriter, I use my songwriting to process what I'm going through in life a lot of the time, right? And so I began to write a lot of songs about love and loss and life and death and grief. And I'd taken some time off touring for a while to really focus on life at home. But when I was finally ready to get back to the studio and back on the road, the label wasn't really interested in renewing my contract, but I just wasn't going to let that stop me. And so that's when I set out as an independent artist, and I really learned how to do all the things the label had been doing for me as a one-woman business. Now, mind you, I started in the industry when CD sales were the rage, right? And then I'm selling them out of the back of my car. And that had been a huge source of income for me at the merch table on tour. So when everything shifted from CDs to digital and then streaming, like a lot of other artists, I was scrambling to figure out how to make a living with my music, with streaming paying fractions of a penny. And honestly, that's how I discovered sync. I'd seen a friend of mine get her music placed on MTV's Laguna Beach. And I was like, how did you do that? And that led to me doing a couple years of music industry schooling where I did a deep dive into publishing and music clearance and music supervision and sync licensing. And I found some great mentors and coaches who really helped me along the way. And that's how I ended up signing rep deals with so many amazing companies. And then, of course, other artists saw what I was doing and started asking me, how did you do that? How did you get signed to these 10 different sync agencies and publishers. I started coaching them, and then they started landing syncs faster than I ever did. And I knew that I had found a fast track worth sharing. So I launched Like a Pro Music Coaching in January 2022, and it's been so awesome working now with 200 artists from the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, and the UK. I even have an artist in Dubai right now. It's a really fun community of international artists just like you who found the resources, the community, coaching, and support that they needed to rise. So I launched my coaching company with the very first foundational course, Release Music Like a Pro. And this is a 12-step program still available today that is really going to help you plug all those holes in your music career boat. We'll look for what are you doing well? Where do you have gaps? Where do you have those holes and cracks? And how can we get everything buttoned up and put your best professional foot forward? So this foundational course is perfect really before you press record on your next project or first single. We can retroactively apply these steps to maybe some of that music you've already recorded and or released. But honestly, you're going to have the best results if we start before that next single, EP, or album. So you're going to utilize this 12-step release checklist that I've created to help you learn how to increase your exposure, gain fans, monetize your music so that you're not wasting like thousands creating subpar music only to see it bring pennies in return. So we can help you find the right producers to work with, build a budget, even tackle fundraising if needed, all the way to branding, social media, royalty registration, split sheets, work for hire contracts, metadata, copyrights, cover art, websites, distribution, all those things, press and PR ops. We want to help you learn how to pitch your music for TV, ads, film, radio gigs, and more. And artists have landed syncs right out of this course. Ty Avery took this and landed a sync and has never looked back. Since then, he's landed 14 more. Some artists have asked me to walk with them on an even deeper journey into sync. So I created another 4-step mini course for those who have their music career boat sailing the seas in great shape, but they're ready for some more advanced sync strategies. So the perfect pitch is really our 4-step fast track to sync, teaching you exactly what you need to put together a professional pitch portfolio using Disco, an awesome platform created by music supervisors that's really become the industry standard way of pitching for sync opportunities in the last 5 years. In fact, I even have a discount link that I can give you whenever you're ready to sign up. Just holler at me and we can get you a $20 credit that you can use towards your subscription there. Really, the fast track to sync 4-step course is just a power-packed mini course teaching you how to craft that perfect pitch for sync opportunities in TV, ads, movies like a pro. And it's the perfect next step for graduates of Release Music Like a Pro or for more experienced artists who kind of already mastered their music career boat but have at least 2 to 5 songs professionally recorded at broadcast quality. You own 100% of the rights or have permission from other rights holders to pitch them for licensing opportunities. And if you're in need of any of the basic music business foundations that are covered in the release course, you're really going to get better results starting there first. It's kind of that cart before the horse sort of thing. We want to make sure that you've got a good foundation built before we start pitching. But once you have your music business foundations and Disco portfolio set up, we'll teach you how to research where your songs might sync best, how to find agencies that are looking for the type of music you create, how to network with sync agents, publishers, and music supervisors, and start to rise to the top in the sync world as a sought-after artist, producer, writer, and collaborator. And for those who want to do both courses or maybe even more, that's where my 1-year artist development track really comes in. And this 1-year artist development journey isn't for everyone. It's really for artists who want that all access pass to my entire catalog of courses and coaching with both weekly group coaching and monthly one-on-one sessions with me. And through the recording of your next 3-song EP, really having hands-on guidance through that process and setting you up with your choice of a producer in my network, many of who've landed hundreds, if not thousands of sync placements, and really working with a producer who's already successful in sync. It can really be a huge help in helping you go further faster than you ever imagined. So the full 1-year one-on-one artist development coaching and 3-song EP is for those ready to really make a substantial investment. We can customize the package for you, but the investment for this level of intensive hands-on coaching runs between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on the custom package you select. But don't worry, if that is more than you are wanting to invest at this time, we also have super affordable subscription packages for as little as $99 a month. And I'll explain how you can move forward with either option that really suits you best in just a few minutes. We're on the home stretch, I promise. To add to the options available, we also have home studio recording courses available for those who want to learn, like, how do I use Logic to create pro demos and even mix my own music from home. I want you to have all the tools and resources that you need to succeed. So these two courses come with the Artist Development All Access Pass if you need them, or you can purchase them a la carte. But really, everything can be absolutely customized and tailored towards what you want and need, as well as your budget and what you want to and have to invest in your music career over the next month to a year. And I'm here to support your dreams and your goals and to help you get there as quickly as possible. So, are you still with me? Is this resonating with you? Are you all in on yourself and your music career? Are you ready to explore the Like a Pro music coaching options that best suit your budget and help you address any holes in the boat that might be holding you back? If so, I encourage you to take some time scrolling through the subscription options on this page and deciding if you want to start with an affordable subscription, which definitely can be a great place to start. But if you've got that hustle, determination, and super big dreams like Ty Avery, and you really want hands-on guidance from me and to work with me directly one-on-one to reach your goals as quickly as possible, if you know you're ready to invest $5,000 to $10,000 into your music and music industry education over the next year, all of that artist development that we talked about, then you can use the button below this video to book a complimentary strategy session with me and see if you qualify for my 1-year Artist Development All Access Pass. Otherwise, you're free to subscribe to any super affordable options below. You can upgrade or downgrade anytime. And if I was to recommend a great place to start, I do recommend starting with the weekly coaching tier. Then you're sure to have live coaching and support as you begin this incredible journey towards your first sync placement. Because I guarantee questions are going to come up and you're going to welcome my personal support each week. And I can't wait to see you there. So, I mentioned earlier that I have a really quick questionnaire that will help you kind of assess where you're at in your music foundations journey and what kind of coaching and support you might need to help you really be able to qualify for major league opportunities like sync licensing in TV ads and film. So I want you to grab a scrap of paper, or if you've got your notes app open or something, and actually answer yes or no to questions 1 through 10. I'm going to read them for you real quickly. Number 1, have you released your music through a third-party distributor like DistroKid, CD Baby, or TuneCore? Number 2, are you registered with a performing rights organization like ASCAP, BMI, APRA, PRS, SOCAN? It depends what country you live in. Number 3, have you registered to collect royalties with Sound Exchange, the Mechanical Licensing Collective, Centric, or Songtrust? Number 4, have you registered your original songs for U.S. copyrights? Number 5, do you have a link tree or something similar? Number 6, do you have a website? Number 7, do you have an EPK to pitch to venues, press, or radio stations? And if you don't know, EPK stands for Electronic Press Kit. Number 8, do you utilize split sheets, work for hire contracts, one-stop agreements, and do you have them on hand for all of your songs? Number 9, do you already have a disco account for sync pitching? Number 10, do you have any sync agencies or publishers that represent your music already? And if not, do you know how to get signed? Okay, so let's look at your answers. If you answered mostly no to most of those questions, then a great place for you to start would be the Release Music Like a Pro foundational course. It means we have a lot of holes in our foundation and we really need to fill those gaps before we'll be ready to pitch for sync licensing. Now, if you answered yes to most questions 1 through 7, but only no to questions 8, 9, and 10, then you are a perfect candidate for the Fast Track to Sync course. It means most of your foundations are well set, but you just need a little bit of help learning those next steps to pitch for sync licensing. And I'm committed to help you get out of your own way and really start to build a career and make a living doing what you love with your music. So I want to leave you with one last brief songwriter success story from Jesse Rowell, an American artist living in the UK right now. And when we first connected, he was super discouraged, felt like he had tried so many times to get his career started and wasn't sure that this experience would be any different from other things he tried. So check out what Jesse had to say after taking my foundational course, Release Music Like a Pro.
It's been phenomenally good for me in the sense that it's given me, you know, you're the first person actually that said, I would love to help you and I'd love you to be a part of this. And I'm not disappointed in the least. I mean, it's just been extraordinary. The level of information. I mean, Matt, you said, I think something like you maybe knew 10% of the, I think I knew way less than that, to be honest. Like I literally knew nothing about where to go. And you've given me a lot of hope that there's so much potential for the future. And I don't know what that looks like yet, you know. And thank you so much for all your time and effort. And I think what's also blown me away is like you've got all this amazing content. The course is just chock full of it with all your slides and videos and guest speakers and everything else. But then on top of that, you're always answering questions and, you know, going above and beyond. And that's been amazing. Not a lot of people do that, and I really appreciate that.
Ooh, that gets me every time, y'all. Just as much as I've been in Jesse's corner and Ty's corner and Danny's corner, and I'm here cheering on all the artists that I support and work with. I really look forward to the opportunity to prove to you that I'm truly in your corner too. With that, I will say goodbye for now, but I can't wait to connect more with you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me through a DM on social media. You can email me. You can book a strategy session if you want to explore the artist development, or you can hop into one of the subscriptions and just give it a try. And I can't wait to see you there.